Okay, again, good afternoon. We're officially calling the meeting to order at 2:04. And I think it's a good idea to kind of just work with the working agenda we had just to confirm. So in regards to committee members, it's a possibility that we may come just to the four of us as Ms. Carey is coming on, or it's a possibility that if it's a possibility that if DST doesn't have the bandwidth to serve, that we could look at pulling in another board member from Friends of Theater and Dance. So I'll make those notes there. And I do know that we stated that we would have some subcommittees that we would eventually bring on from a department angle, whether that's faculty like Tony and Benny and Doug, as well as arts administrative students to serve as production assistants and stage managers and the like. So that's it in regards to committee members. The next thing on the agenda is honorary chairs. And I know in our last meeting, we discussed for the entire event, just elevating the program altogether. And I remember DST just kind of like, hey, we need some star power. So I wanted to circle back to, if at all, what names that we thought of, or who were we thinking about? Because, once we get this tighter, we're able to present this to the dean's office to, try to rub some elbows with folk we think. So go ahead. Any ideas, thoughts? Go ahead, Mary.
I thought you mentioned Frenchie because she's there already.
Yep, she is here.
Yeah, I have that on my list. Oh, I'm sorry, were you finished? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I remember a list.
It might, maybe
I think we were talking, we just were throwing names out. I don't think we wrote anything down because I don't have that in my notes
Me either. Maybe like you said, because I'm looking like, gosh, I must be missing something.
Oh, I'm
typing now. I'm typing now. So, and we're recording, so we can definitely go back.
And I'm thinking perhaps if we have them send a video, we could probably get more people. And what is just to say, is it a congratulations or what is it that we need them to do? Just be stars? Because then I would suggest Katori Hall. She could easily do a video. We should ask Anthony Anderson. I think we had mentioned Ryan Jamal Swain. Now I know we talked about it, but we didn't write it down. Just to say a greetings, hello, da.
And as I thought about it more, what would the purpose of the honorary chair be? Because typically you have honorary chairs to bring in big names and big dollars. I could see us getting the star power to be the host for the evening.
That's what I was thinking of too. And also the honorary chair's role to connect us to additional friends of theirs that could, either come and support in some type, either physically or support in some type of way. Whether that's through donation, whether that's through however. So that's what I'm thinking of to Charles.
I think we would need to flesh out exactly what we would want them to do before we can approach someone. Or is it, we just want your name for the paper to put on the paper?
And it could be a combination of those. I guess we have to just decide that as a thing. When we were first pre-pandemic, and I mentioned to Harris wanting to pull together an alumni group, and I was telling her it would be hot. I mentioned we always talk about how Charles and DST co-hosted the Weenies one year, and we talked about how that dynamic was really nice. And I said, I wonder if we would be able to do the same with host. Whether it's like Anthony Anderson and Taraji, I don't know. Just thinking of folk that, whatever energy could have. So go ahead, Charles.
I like that idea. If we did that, we should make sure that they're friends, because I know when we did Reggie's memorial, Harriet and Linda hosted it, and their relationship just brought it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Because people who weren't even in school together, they can't really play off of each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I
does that
agree.
mean we say, Harriet, who you friends?
Listen, Frenchie is there. Let's get her. Put her in. Because it's nice to have that hosty, come out and talk to the people. I love all that. If we're going to be in person, right? We're going to be in person, right?
We should be able to do 100% in person. The question is going to be the numbers, because right now, the way the DC mandate is, numbers are still lower in spaces. So Crampton right now is only entertaining 275 people.
We got 1,500 seats and can only fill 275.
So if we're at, almost 300, then we're looking at,
50.
I'm saying, right. And I'm saying a max of 75. You see what I'm saying? So, those numbers may or may not increase by spring. So I still think we need to maybe consider a hybrid option, even for those who may not be able to physically make it for whatever obligations they may have wherever they are. So it'd be great to, consider streaming live, and whatever, and doing the proper timeline when we get to logistics about who is maybe putting in a tape or whatever, to if they can't hop into it like through the Zoom and be live, that we get their pre-recording to play it. So
I got a question. Are we only interested in those people who have who have come out of fine arts, or could we get celebrities that may be from Scholastic or may not have majored in something in fine arts, but are friends of?
I didn't major in theater.
yeah.
But were you in fine arts?
I didn't major in fine. I was in communications.
Okay, me too. So
Yeah.
actually I was both. Because I'm thinking of Bradford Young would be a nice person to bring,
I'm sorry.
with
Who did you say?
Bradford Young would be a nice person to bring with an actor. I mean, it doesn't have to be, two people who are, kind of locked at the hip. It might be two people that also show what our future is going to be like, since we are, from what I understand, combining with School of C, and School of C is not open, which gives them even more incentive to participate with us.
Mhm.
I'm just forecasting there. Now, that might not be the flavor everybody is feeling, but I, for one, think this is a good moment that we can actually, at 50, show, okay, and now we open up the floor to Scholastic, those people who are, maybe singers, but they just happen to be business majors, or something that has kind of shown a little more versatility. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm open to alum and friends of those in the field and industry. I think that's just increasing our network and expanding. I think that's wonderful. I think I just go back to what Charles was saying about the temperaments in the room, and just making sure that those folk it's easier when they know each other, because that relationship and chemistry helps to sell the night and play off of the, quote unquote script, and they get to ad lib and have some good fun. I think also, remember, and when we get to that phase, it may not be this meeting, but when we get to talking about awards, so to speak, or what's happening, other folk can introduce these awards or present these awards. So we have room for beyond just honorary chairs and host to do so. And we can separate the two. If we want to have some star power as honorary chairs that are also donating in some capacity, but then we look at alum or friends of to be hosts, we can separate those capacities as well.
What's the phrase? Shoot for the moon?
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Miss Harriet.
I volunteer to be the announcer. I like that part. And now
yes,
welcome to the stage.
Now opening and do all the God mic. Yes.
Yes, I'm the God mic.
What'd you say, Charles?
I was going to say, I went to the Tonys several years ago, and it was the year they didn't have a host. They just had someone on the Voice of God mic, celebrities coming in and introducing. So if we
could consider that and keep it clean.
Right.
Yep.
We just want to go that route.
Yeah.
Especially if we don't know if we're going to be virtual or not.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
good too.
we mentioned like because something could pivot where we have to be 100% virtual. And even though we may not have a host, again, with doing the program, we could have someone like a Ryan Jamal Swain to open up. It doesn't have to be the host, but to open up. So if Harry's on the mic, she can announce him and then he can open up and sort of state the occasion, so to speak. So we're talking about program order. That's another thing to, think about, is just, allow, he could open up someone like that. So, yeah, I think we still gotta figure out, or if we want to take time now to just go ahead and settle on honorary chairs, assisting with other elements of pulling in additional people and things of that nature. But it would be great to have a description of what it is that we want, like Charles said before we ask anyone officially. And then we can be thinking about some of these individuals as just dropping in a little note, or just we're at the 50th, a little comment. Some of the people that we're naming can, do that as well. Because if we're talking about, just honorary, we could ask Anthony and Taraji just to be honorary chairs.
Yes.
That would be a nice
Or
combination.
Wendy Raquel. Or Wendy Raquel.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
What about the one, I've forgotten her name, from This Is Us?
Susan Kelechi.
Susan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good one. And let us not forget, especially when we get to the dance part, Debbie Allen.
Yeah.
That's an easy one because she has a relationship with us, aside from her sis.
Yeah. And then there are other folk.
What's
Go ahead.
The young lady who was in with the not Chris Cross, the rappers. She went to Howard and she was with she's one of the girlfriends in it, dancer, actress. Oh Lord.
Are you talking about from House Party?
Yes. Who is that young lady?
Oh God, what is her name?
She's an alum and she just is in a new show. So it would be good maybe to tap in. I can't remember her name though.
Huh.
I'm just thinking Paula J. Parker, but I'm sure that's not who you
Paula J. That's it. That's her.
Oh, okay. She's also on Queen Sugar now.
You said Paula.
So that would be good.
Oh,
Paula
really?
J.A.I. Parker.
Gotcha.
So we got a good amount of names. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, the names that we have are folk that we can decide in any way of giving an award or honoring. We can just look at this list as folk that we're interested in being on the program.
Yes.
And then we can make circle back with a description of who we want as honorary chairs and look at, from there.
So those people who might not have either qualified to be a chair or, were not available, that automatically falls into, would you, I understand you can't host, but could you please open a segment with some comments, so that when we get someone involved, we're giving them one conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Charles.
It could also be someone who can't come, who we want to give an award. We can send them the names and things, and
absolutely
they record it. We can throw it up on the screen.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm putting some action items here. Honorary chairs, we need a description.
This is in our Google Doc, Dominique?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I created a new one for this date, but you all should still have access to. Is this in the same?
We have it, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And then like I have right here, just on the program in some capacity list, these individuals. And then, like I said, we'll circle back with what, the program looks like as well, because that will help us determine where we want to place people, where they're best suited, and things of that nature. And we want to think about some other.
Side note, before I forget, some of these people that we're mentioning, I do know that I just got an email about the Distinguished Alumni Award, and we should be putting some of these names into that hat. You know, I know that that's just opened for the next, I think, 3 weeks. They're taking names, so just want to be mindful of that. Some of those people should be on that list as well.
Okay. Come back over here. Okay, there was another name I was gonna mention. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Okay. Because it would be great to make sure that we're also including administrators and technicians. So we want to think about what's happening in that world and lane of where folk are. And again, as we're thinking about programming and awards, some of the wonderful local, some of the wonderful things that people are doing just in their local communities that may not be getting the same recognition as folk that we just stated, but you know, we can take that time to do that as community leaders or whatever and think about
one thing I talked about, and I had mentioned it briefly to Harriet, were some different awards for alumni, and some came up with were like the Henry's Business Show Award. Some taking their arts to business level, like Wendy Raquel.
Yep.
An Arts Innovation Award, someone who does arts. I mean, like I don't know if you guys know Kira Little DaCosta. But she's her hip
hop. Yeah, I'm a part of her group. Yep.
It's phenomenal. Like a Vanguard Award, an advocacy award. Like we have Amber Iman or Amber Moore, who was the Black Arts. No, what is it? Black Broadway Lives Theater Matter, something like that.
Yes.
I'm talking about Harriet.
Yes, she just wanted Tony. She just wanted Tony, as well as Beverly Jenkins for outstanding work. So that's also your technique. I was actually going to nominate her for distinguished, put her in that. Are you including Vanguard with advocacy? Because I'm right. I love all of these. Let's just keep these.
No, then I also had early career awards. So I had 5 different on my list.
Early career, okay.
But then we also have Lark Harkins. She is stage managing Chicken and Biscuit. Lark Hackshaw.
Oh, yay, good for her. Hackshaw.
She's stage managing Chicken and Biscuits.
So her first Broadway, it's a new Broadway show by Doug, what's his name? Doug, a new Black show, comedy.
She used to do a lot in Atlanta.
Okay. So like early career under there. Love, these are perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Ian, done.
Yeah, definitely. When you get the chance, if you can add those to the list here, I put possible awards, and we can. I'm not gonna say possible. We're gonna just say award list.
And we would create a little plaque. Did a plaque. So I'm just gonna put that there already, just to have that in the idea, just to say congratulations, whatever. Everybody likes a little paperweight plaque thing situation.
And these are the alumni awards.
Will we have a plaque that represents our new name? A Panther plaque?
No, we ain't a Panther girl.
I know he's done much more than that. But I just think that would be so nice if we started seeing representation.
But you know what? That segues into a conversation of, okay, talking about the alumni award, okay. Into when we're talking about the student award list. We could, typically we do the traditional student list of, what is it? When they do like highest GPA, best academic standing, the chairman's award. But we could this year see if the dean is willing to introduce like one of 3 Chadwick A. Boseman awards.
I would say the one for students should be Ms. Kofa. If there's a Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, but that's done from the student standpoint.
Students, yeah.
They nominate and run and have a whole pageant for Mr. and Ms. Kofa.
No, that's already
Oh,
happened. I'm saying
yeah,
that the student award should be, if there's a spot that they would have, I would think that Mr. and Mrs., I guess,
could
fine art
present it.
would present that particular award. I would leave the dean for the the most distinguished alumni award. I would leave that for the dean, maybe.
They could do two.
Like
There
you
could be
said,
an
there's
alumni,
3 or 4
distinguished
different.
alumni, and an undergraduate.
Right. I was thinking from the level of the student receiving this award from the dean, but I was saying one of 3 because we're just one of 3 departments. But it's something that we would have to bring to her attention to see if she's interested in it anyway, and what that would look like and mean, and defining what the criteria for that award is. It's just something that I thought would be great to have, since we're, now we have the name, and it would be something, a nice something to add into the Weenies rotation of awards. It's something to think about. I'm not, okay. And we do have to think about other student award lists, and maybe that's where that ad hoc faculty committee can assist with some of that, thinking outside of the box of certain things that they would like to see and do and hear about. And then we can determine which of them are presented during and which of them are just kind of in the program. Because we want to be mindful of time as well. If we're going to be indoors, if we have to be indoors. Go ahead, Charles.
I've always had an issue with award ceremonies that did that, because it makes it look as though the one that wasn't presented in front of everyone was not as important. I think that's unfair to the recipients.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want it to look like that. I guess I was thinking of it from the angle of, if the faculty decided that, I don't know, that there may have been like a first, second, third, fourth year class of awards, something to that effect. Maybe they just felt like they had to give, that those could be listed. But you get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they may have.
You're not talking about the artistic awards.
No, but if they have like most improved, first, second, third, fourth year, that could be listed.
That's in the program.
Yeah, it could be listed in the program. It doesn't have to be given at all, but I want to give room for them to, like I said, we'll figure out what they bring back to the table, but I want to give room for them to speak. I just don't want a bunch of random.
Right, this is for the seniors. This is for the graduating seniors. That's what this was always for, like our Tony Awards, which was so much fun when we had it and we were there, and they would call it, you didn't know, and you came up and you made just like a quick little speech. It was I always remember it, because I won 5 in that year, but I just always remember it. And it was so fabulous, and everybody was hating on me, but what was I supposed to do?
Right.
That's the fun part. Yeah, I think, but just
so holding all of those.
So as we focus, I think focusing on the graduating seniors, and as Charles was saying, putting the other ones, or that's maybe another ceremony. That's another.
Well, that's what, sometimes there is that junior or sophomore, depending on what they do, does need to be recognized. But the focus, should be the senior. So that's why I'm saying, to give room for someone has done something well or whatever. Again, I think it's something we'll talk about, obviously not today, because we don't even know what the awards are, but it's something that we can circle back to figure out just, how we move forward.
Got it. Okay.
And think about it from that angle, and then have a cap. Sometimes they say, well, not this year. You give that at your own departmental area meeting. I mean, some of them are just, just recognizing someone for improvement. Some of that can be done, that this is the 50th, we're elevating it as a whole, whatever. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to circle back to.
Before you talk about that buzzword budget, I think it would probably help if we had a meeting specifically for budget.
Yes. Yeah, because I saw it. I'm getting ready to say, I was just getting ready to say, y'all, budget gonna be a longer conversation than what we have for today, seriously. And maybe that is something that we can schedule in the next 2 weeks, because some of that will include some of the fundraising ideas that we need to kind of jump off, now.
Facebook fundraiser real quick.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's a quick one.
And just remember, if we're virtual, add in shipping. Everything has to have shipping added in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and if you want,
Go
if
ahead,
you wanted to
Charles.
create, if you wanted to create like a document
Oh,
and
okay.
Google
Okay.
Sheets with the category, we can work on it together with the different categories for the budget, and then you and I can begin to put figures in and then bring it to everyone else.
Yes, we can do that, Charles. No problem. Definitely no problem. Figure out what we already may be working with, and then we
Mhm.
know where we need to go. Part of the budget conversation has to be separate too, because we have to figure out some of the other ideas of theme and venue, etc. I know we're talking about hybrid, IRA. You know, I know folk feel much more safe outdoors. Do we attempt to see what can be done on the yard, or
Well, the issue with that is the surrounding noise.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, but I was gonna bring up that is other challenges, and of course, weather is always a challenge because it could rain. But I don't know if you all know, I think it's, what is that? Is that the undergraduate library, the rooftop that's over there? You know, sometimes they will have things for graduation ceremonies, you know, there. We could possibly use that space, ask to reserve to use it, see what it would cost to get the chairs out there, some equipment or whatever. It just allows people to be outdoors, feel a little bit more safe with COVID. The only thing we have to work out and navigate our restrooms. So those are things we always have to think about. But
Restrooms, power,
yes,
video feed, all that.
all of that. My only thought process was that at least it brings it here. It brings people back home still, feeling like, versus going to Kennedy Center's Reach, or, Shakespeare's even moving their gala to the Wolf Trap Pavilions because donors were complaining about being inside. And I just wonder if that helps us with, we're going to still be in this by the time we do weenies, But go ahead, Harriet.
The Blackburn Center, can we not use that space? That's so much more open.
It's not 100% open. So I'm hoping it will be open by then. And it's something, let me put it on the list as an option. What I want to find out is what is the protocol for reserving and renting and etc. But I'm putting it on the list for consideration.
Love that room. Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what? If we have to shift to outside, I think that we should create two different types of event, one for inside and one for outside. And if outside, we can do like they do the Helen Hayes Awards now, which is just a party. And every so often they will announce the winners of the awards. So people aren't sitting.
Right.
They're mingling, they're having fun.
So it's more of a reception. It's more of a, like, we're hopping right into the reception mode of it and the party of it. So maybe this is the 50th Owen Dodson Weenie Awards bash, not just award ceremony, more of a bash. And
gala.
Gala.
Yes,
gala.
Yes, gala.
I love that.
I love this. I love this pivot. I really do.
Like the Met.
Yeah.
Yep, Met Gala. Yes, it's the gala. Yes, we love that. People love a party.
Yes.
I can talk to people I know who have been, ask them exactly what it was like.
Please.
Harriet, you haven't been.
I went when we were inside at the Kennedy Center when I was nominated. That was inside. Okay. It was really nice though. We had plenty of space, but it was inside.
Was it the party atmosphere?
We were at tables.
Okay.
No. It was a little more formal.
Well, see, but in recent years, they've gotten rid of the tables and all that, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't been since they've done that.
I can ask Michael Bobbitt, Deirdre Starnes, and Nova Payton what it was like.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Even if we just got some high tables so people can prop a drink down or prop that plate down in the middle and midst of, and let them to, and again, the reality is people want to mingle. They haven't been able to see each other. They haven't been able to connect. So this is more of our internal homecoming, so to speak, as well.
And they want to take pictures. So a
step and repeat. And
we have our step and repeat.
Yep.
Charles and I are good with that, honey.
If we have to do it on undergraduate roof, the background noise won't matter.
That's what That's what I was saying too. Like if we moved it there, 'cause that was my whole point. When there was one of the events there, it was for graduation. People were able to move and mingle across the brick. And they had the food on one side, and then there was a few tables here, and people were able to, like I said, move and mingle. And I think people will feel just a lot more safe in the environment that we're in. They can breathe a little, and not just feel, and other logistics we obviously have to work on with restrooms.
And if there's a tent already up, we don't have to pay for one.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a matter of like, hey, can't we get in while you all are, because we typically are trying to get in right as they're setting up anyway, because they're going into commencement. So it's like just figuring out that schedule, especially if it's like, well, you already had the 10 up that day. We just needed that evening. Thank you.
Right. Harriet's finger has been up like she's
sorry, I didn't.
Now.
Because that's how we do the group. That's supposed to raise our finger. Y'all just talking out of order. Are we requiring people with vaccinations and masks? Just throwing it out there. Or are we just saying it's open, free form, or you get tested that day? Even if, are we asking for a negative test the day before or day of? Just throwing it out there.
I think what we can do is definitely mask. Outside of when they're, eating and things. But they're gonna, social distance as best as they can. I think we can ask for a COVID test, negative COVID within a 72-hour period. That's usually what the request is when you're coming into theater spaces. And we can see what we need to do, at least to check temperatures at the door, just as a safety precaution, even though a lot of the folk that have caught COVID didn't have a high temperature, but we can offer that as just some other safety measures.
And also look to see what the university requires.
So right now, the university has required that everyone on campus be vaccinated outside of medical or religious status, but they're not checking contractors or anything. They just have to fill the Bison Safe app. So everyone will have to do the Bison Safe app, coming onto campus. And they are asking for masks, both in the building and outside. So that's why I said mask.
But what about for
have to-
games? Like for the football game, what are they doing? Are they just having masks?
So that they might be checking temperatures. I'm not sure what they're doing with the football game, honestly.
Well,
I can find out
if we watch that, yeah.
Yeah, I can find out from what they're doing from the student standpoint. Go ahead, Harry.
And that could change come November.
Mm-hmm.
Are we creating a specific logo for this? Because if we do, then I can order masks, and that can be the mask that they get as their little party favor to wear that says Weenie 50, whatever that is.
Yes, I would like some sort of logo, something that brands the event, so that when we're putting out the save the date or anything that happens, it's almost like it's kind of seal a logo of some sort. I think would be nice.
Isn't there already a logo for Weenies?
No, we've never had a logo. We've only just kind of changed the theme each year and font, but there's not been an official logo for Weenies.
Can we find out what maybe was the first one and then try to adjust it from that?
Possibly.
Ooh, who's the historian? That's what we need.
I'm gonna work on this. I will work on it.
Okay, I'm like, ooh.
Kelsey right now.
Who you say?
Moreland Spingarn.
Kelsey
may know too.
Okay, it's Wednesday. I always talk to him on Wednesday, so that's good.
I always joke that Miss Janet's been there so long, she laid the first brick of the university, but I don't think she.
Right.
That's funny.
Oh, I could actually ask my friend Inga, whose mom was the first Howard Players president. Her mom is dealing with little Alzheimer's right now, so maybe she could look in her files and see if she has a program from that, and maybe she could send it to me, because her mom was there back there then, Miss Ethel.
That would be wonderful.
We presented her at the Howard Players thing because she was the first president.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be wonderful. And even if when she is in good spirits, to do a video right before the Howard Players segment. Usually we invite Howard Players to do some sort of Howard Player award, etc. So
Can I suggest that section maybe is also a lot of voiceover in case people are either camera shy or maybe not altogether, but their memories, can be typed and we can show visually what they were encountering the first year. I think that'd be great if people just had that flashback. And maybe
Absolutely.
since it's 5, do it by decades. If you do,
Yeah.
the longevity of the organization by decades, because I'm sure there's been some drama in the drama department. It would be very good for people to know when certain people came or left, like Friedman, things like that. Because I asked a lot of people when they say, oh, so and so's from Howard, and I said, yeah, their story when they graduate, and people don't even know if they graduated.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Taraj graduated, thank you. I saw that dance of her pregnant. Somebody's got to show that. That was just incredible.
Yeah, definitely. And it goes into other things for program. We talked about last meeting, trying to figure out, pinpointing who those people are that would have additional pictures and images even further back like that to bring us up to speed so that, we're able to populate that throughout the evening. And also just, like I said, with voiceovers, there are other visual aids that help to just bring us up to speed over the past 50 years for weenies, at least. Okay. And I guess with this, the new gala version of this is, we talked about hybrid, so to speak. So are we still looking to have some of that to where if someone isn't here, they're able to still see something?
I would say, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're looking at still the hybrid, some, live streaming taking place. Or, people can look at and go around and see what's happening and party right along with this as they are there.
Because it's exciting because you don't know who it's going to be. And then they come in and you're like, oh, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then with this shifting into more of a bash gala sort of version, are we looking at a DJ of some sort? Like who's keeping the room moving and thumping and bumping?
It would have to be a good DJ.
It gotta be a good DJ.
We can't put in somebody's Spotify playlist.
Exactly, and that awkward commercial comes on. Go ahead, Harry.
And I know one, our dear departed Leslie Thompson husband, we can always reach out to him. He's close enough that he could get there, or maybe we can get a younger person in DC. Actually, he is down in Virginia, so that would require, never mind.
Kofi Owusu used to be a DJ. I'm not sure if he still DJs, but he DJ'd years. Kofi Owusu, he was an acting major.
He's down here. I just met him on set, and he came up to me and gave me the call, and I went, oh. He went, I did. And I went, oh, who is that behind that mask? So yeah, we connected, but he's here.
Okay.
So we'll think about, keep that, think about that and keep that in mind with the DJ, making sure that we got somebody good in that lane. But then I'm kind of hopping all over the place. But with this outdoor feel and everything, that also brings us into food. Traditionally, when we're doing anything on campus, we have to do Sodexo. So we need to be thinking about menus, so to speak, especially things that can, what can be outside and what would do well outdoors. What can we do in COVID, etc. From that angle. I know some people are eerie of buffets because of COVID, especially if there aren't people right there serving. So do we, right. And so do we consider something kind of prepackaged where someone can pick up a to-go tray and mingle and munch and just pick up a, sparkling, and pick up a little sparkling water, pick up a whatever and travel on. I guess, maybe that's a, conversation that think about with Sodexo to see what they can offer, but what do we want to include and think about? But go ahead, Charles.
I could see like different stations of prepackaged stuff.
Yep,
Here you may have, like, you know how you
like a
make
little fruit
farming
tray.
stations, you have like maybe fruit and vegetable packages over here, some fruit,
Cookies and. Mhm.
something over there, and the dessert back here, something, so people can actually walk around the room and get
So
what,
stations.
and
Yep.
there's no long line at the food.
Exactly.
The baby quiche went over really well, and the little chicken wings.
Oh,
So you have the veggie option, and you have your meat option.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah,
gotta
I know
get my quiche in there.
I know this
Mhm.
is minor, but something I always think is beautiful is some type of fruit display on a circular table in the middle of the room.
I always love that too. I always love
I
those.
love that.
I always love those. Yeah.
But we have to see
Now-
what Sodexo's parameters are.
Correct. Correct. But I've always loved that. So I was like a little gathering place. I'm like, oh, and then you walk away with, with the next person that you meet. And one place I went to, they had this creamy fruit dip with it. I just stayed at the table with my pineapples. I just stayed at the table with the pineapples and strawberries. But yes, I definitely will say that. Okay. I'm just trying to keep it somewhat halfway together. I guess we can also, so that will also then switch up attire, because at first we had mentioned kind of like this formal, semi-formal, but now being outside, you know, you say chic, casual, chic. I don't know. How do we, what's the
Chic.
language that we use?
Chic. Let's just
Chic.
say chic. No
Okay.
casual. Chic. Elevate. We're elevating. Chic.
So we'll say
Fabulous chic. Fabulous chic.
fabulous chic.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but it'll be something on these lines.
Chic is in there. Yeah.
It'll be something on those lines. Someone said, and they said, casual cocktail. I said, what is that? What is that? So, what
Casual cocktail. You can have on a sweatshirt and some jeans. No, we're not doing that.
I was like, casual cocktail, what does that even mean? I was like, I'm gonna throw on a maxi dress and keep it moving, but I didn't know what to, something that, elevated with your shoes and pearls. But anyways, I'm just bringing that up to say that we want to make sure that we're clear so people don't feel either overdressed or underdressed unless they want to. You know what I mean? But so you hate for somebody to come in the room and go, well, I didn't know. So we just want to be clear what we're saying the attire is.
I didn't know. Okay, so you and your tennis shoes can go sit in that corner right over there.
Blue jeans. Evening chic. Or your sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, we can say evening chic.
Evening chic.
Outdoor chic.
Outdoor chic.
I don't know.
Evening or outdoor. Evening chic.
Evening chic.
We'll just circle back.
We'll figure out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put chic and we'll figure out what that extra wording is, that language. But we'll. Okay, this also brings us to theme. And I'm hopping around, just trying to keep certain things closer to each other in conversation. I know you said some stuff in an email.
Yeah, just some buzzwords.
Okay.
You don't have it. Can you see it, child? Wait, let me go back. I didn't have it up. I just threw them in it because it came to my mind. I said, let me just write these down right quick.
Yes.
Just stuff that might make somebody else think of some kind of something.
Yeah, let me go to my email real quick.
All right, here I got it.
Okay. And I'm just gonna add these to I'm gonna just copy and paste and add them to
our. I have, these are words, Met Gala style, unique, you, arts in motion, ha, light, stars, reach for, we are each other's keeper, I am, fine arts revolution, and we are televised. L'art c'est la vie, art is life.
Anybody else have any ideas to add to this list for us to narrow down and think about?
I'm looking at some now.
Okay.
Nothing's jumping out at me.
Okay.
We can work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get, I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just adding this to the meeting notes so we we can definitely come back to.
I bet you once you find out who can host, it'll come to you.
That part. Definitely, because it'll just help with the whole or feel of the
Because
day.
if it's Anthony Anderson, it's all about laughs.
Mhm.
You see that?
Yeah.
If it was a dancer, it might be those light on their feet.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Okay. So I have that. And then we may not know this yet, but we do want to keep in mind when we would like to have it. I know part of that is going to depend on where we want to have it, if the space and stuff and all of that is available. But just keeping in mind that this year, because of the way the calendar falls, commencement is scheduled for May 14th. And I don't think that has changed, even though some things have changed on the calendar. I don't think that has changed.
In our last meeting, I thought we talked about keeping it the Friday before
The
graduation.
that Thursday or Friday before. Oh yeah, we did say yes. Okay, hold on.
Did you say Friday and not Thursday?
That's what I was asking.
I
Because
think we
normally
said-
it's always a Thursday.
It used to be Friday. People
Used
keep
to be
saying
Friday.
it used to be Friday.
It's always the Friday before graduation.
Yeah, and then it moved to
No, it's
Thursday.
always a Thursday.
It's been
It's the
Friday.
Thursday because graduation on Friday is Friday from School of C.
I'm telling it. It's been Friday. When I was on the faculty there, it was Friday.
When did it move to Thursday? Because when I've been
moved
there
to
since 2015, it's been
They
Thursday.
moved to Thursday when Kim Bay became chair, because she said it was easier for people to get on campus on Friday. It was all on Thursday. It was always Friday because the parents were coming in for graduation.
Graduation. Yeah, I always ask that if we're talking because they kept saying, well, we do it for the parents. I said, we do it for the parents. Why isn't it on Friday? I always ask that. Yeah.
Because the programs that I put in the drive, they were from Friday nights.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
graduated 2012. It was still Thursday.
See, I left in 2009.
Yeah, and when I
That's when
came in
Kim Bay was there.
2015, yeah, when I came in 2015, it was, and again, she probably was trying to just make it easier, like Charles just said, for people to get to campus, because Fridays, there are, different schools and college separate graduations. The parking lots are shut off and closed. It's just a whole thing. But if we're doing this early evening, hopefully some of that has died down some, where there's space and opportunity to do it. By the next meeting, I will triple confirm the calendar, because like I said, the university keeps updating it, even though it doesn't appear that the graduation date is changing. So right now it's Saturday the 14th, which means we would do this Friday the 13th. Ooh, 13th. All right, I'll put that on here for date.
Oh, we have some keywords in our document, Dominique.
We
I
do?
see it. Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did. That's why that's why you gotta read. Mhm. We did have some keywords.
Because I was printing everything out and I was like, oh, look, we have it on the bottom.
I ain't got to the second page yet. We did. We had some keywords. We had elevate, rise, altitude, next level, level up, spirit, uplift, lift, mantra, increase, intensity, manifest. Just some additional words. I'm gonna move this up to the
Oh,
theme so we don't lose it.
Does level up turn into and it's up and it's up, then it's up, then it's up?
Oh, state of
I'm sorry.
elevation.
State of elevation.
And somebody put the French in. That must have been me.
It had to be because I took Spanish. Only French I know is
That had to be
croissant
you.
and garage.
That's you. There was some state of it. That's you with the French. I'll put it right there. Boom.
French is fancy.
It is. It is. Let's see. We did the date. And maybe we need to have once we get theme and title and all of that, marketing will come easier because we'll have logo and color. We can think about colors and all that stuff to be able to send out the save the date and etc. I'm sorry, really quickly, going back to date, what time?
Wouldn't we have to wait until the graduation ceremonies are over? Aren't they usually over by 6?
They are.
So I would say by 7:30.
7:30.
But then also checking with campus security to find out when access to the campus would reopen.
Yes. Yep. Yep, I can do that. I know the problem is a lot. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But if we are able to use undergrad roof, access to campus wouldn't matter because people can park on 4th Street or by the Health Sciences Library and just walk up.
Okay. Yeah. And speaking of the time frame of it all, I was going to say that a lot of the things we're looking to get answers from, we may not know until the start of spring semester, as the university gauges what they're going to do. As a lot of, programming last year stayed virtual, so we'll know some of that intel as well.
I'm actually just writing down some things we have to consider if we move it to outside.
Yes.
Lighting.
While you talking about that, I'm gonna put this thing right here of challenges to consider.
Streaming.
You said streaming?
Yeah.
Streaming. They just did the streaming for College of Fine Arts pageant. I had difficulties getting on, but it seemed that they were at least trying to work out their streaming problems. So whoever is streaming that, see if they're following through for the year.
Okay. And I'm thinking of power altogether, power and lighting, streaming, weather, that, just something unpredictable. What's the contingency plan for weather?
I mean, not just rain, but extreme heat.
That's what I'm saying, the contingency plan period for weather. Restrooms will be a challenge. We can figure that part out. And I'm also just putting in here, just so we can remember COVID protocols, so that we can be clearing that with invitations.
That's why we could get that Blackburn room, auditorium room, that big room right there with the glass.
Ballroom.
That would be
the ballroom.
The ballroom. That would be so much more open and right there, and sort of not make you feel so. Whatever that costs, I don't know.
And could you still check when you check on that? Can you ask them the capacity?
I'm gonna ask them because I know they're renovating everything. So what will that new ballroom space look like and everything?
I didn't know they were renovating.
They're renovating the whole building. So right now, I think they talked about in October, just the basement being open with the new bowling alley and stuff like that, but they haven't talked about the whole building being open. So I'll check in with the dean's office on that to see if they have an update on it, because they would know something about where we are in that space as far as Blackburn ballroom.
Something?
I'm sorry.
You hearing voices or something, Harriet?
No, I know I'm getting a delivery. You know how you hear the truck, you like, that sounds like that delivery truck. And I was like, you know how to put on the brakes and you just know that's it.
Yes.
Dreams, could we add that to the keyword?
Yes.
Dreams.
Yes.
Had that sound. I'm waiting on something. Charles, you're so crazy.
You reminded, when you did that, you reminded me of, I forget the character's name, but from Women of Brewster Place, the old lady.
I see you.
Out the window.
I see you. I see what you did. I see you. Olivia, what's her name? She worked that for the blood.
Okay. Scrolling back down. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know when you were giving names, and I don't know why her name is escaping me right now. She's been in Rent. She's on
Tracy
Tracy
Thomas.
Tracy. She's always down to help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's come before for Howard Entrepreneur. Or
Her parents live in Baltimore.
She was she hosted the Weenies one year.
great. Actually, that'd be a nice list to start. Bringing back the host.
Yep. And at one point, the host went local because of budget.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
Roz hosted one year.
You said who?
Roz.
Yes, Roz hosted, UNDST hosted. And it was crazy. If this past year was what it was gonna be, I was gonna consider. Who was that? Oh, Courtney Baker Oliver, somebody local.
Oh, he's
Mhm.
good. Personable.
Yep.
I did
Karen.
one back in the day. Lord.
One year we put someone was in New York, we put them on the train. I can't remember who it was. I remember taking Joe Selman's credit card and purchasing their train ticket and the hotel, and then the car to get, because they had to leave early Saturday morning. I don't remember who it is or who it was.
That'd be from New York, huh?
It was from New York.
That wasn't me. It wasn't me. Because I would think I did it before you.
Okay.
That wasn't me. Wonder who that was.
Also,
Oh.
Karen Molina White, Cosby's, and plenty of character, Hillman College, plenty of character actors.
Okay,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm putting her name down. I do know.
One who used to
Charmaine.
talk real fast on the Cosby Show,
Charmaine.
Little Short. And she
Yeah.
was in Miss Howard too. I think 80s. Is that 80s? In the 80 crowd?
I think it was Carla Hargrove. It was Carla Hargrove we put on the train.
Carla.
Looking at the program now.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
she's probably on Broadway. She's probably on Broadway in Little Shop of Horrors.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so again, I'm just putting them here on the program in some capacity, and we can determine how we invite them to the space to do what have you, whether it's a nice, quick little, readings and whatever, just little comments, or whether it's, want to introduce one of the alumni awards, or
I
even
think
one of
that-
the
Oh,
speaker awards.
And today is Carla's birthday, actually.
Oh, it is. I saw that. I would also like
Courtney.
to add, I'm sorry, Carrie, what are you saying?
I was going to say Courtney Baker Oliver and Frenchie would be good.
Yes,
That would be good in
hilarious.
That would be good. I'm putting his name up closer to hers in the list, so that keeps us thinking about that.
I mean, someone to
Isn't this
present.
sort of like wedding planning? Who sits next to who?
I know. Who's at which table? Oh, no, they can't be together. They just, all of that.
Someone to present. I'd like us to add Princess Moon Princess Moon to the list, because we need
Oh,
some
yes.
sponsors.
So you do have a list of all the past hosts? I saw you reference the list. Did you have
Oh
a
no, I
list?
was looking at
Just looking at the programs.
the program. See, this was the tenure notebook I put together when they didn't get here, and then I left, but I kept it for some reason. Why? I don't know.
I'm glad you did, because baby, we don't know where it would be now.
But Miss Janet has all the old programs from all the shows, all the Weenie Awards.
Yes,
We keep a list of all the winners for the Weenie Awards.
yep,
We may still have it.
she might say.
Is it on a plaque?
I'm sorry.
You said a
Is it on a
plaque?
plaque?
No, that's the Skinny Branch Award you're probably thinking about.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
But no, when I was there, she would always, at the end of the award, she would always ask me for a list of all the recipients.
Yep. Yeah, she should
They
have
were
had it.
included in the NAST accreditation paperwork.
It probably was. It probably was. There's a lot of stuff you have to pull together for that. That's coming up soon.
So now where would we let this information and the promo and all of that live? Would it live on Fine Arts page? Would it live on its own Facebook page? I mean, we've got a couple of months to ramp this up.
Sure. That's a good question. Obviously the department stuff, we would definitely have it there.
We will put it on our website.
Go ahead.
I said we will put it on our website.
Right.
Link.
And yeah, I mean, if we wanted to create a separate weenies thing, we could, but I think just keeping it with the brand of the department and friends would be best. So people aren't going to separate places. They're always coming to, because even after this, they can continue to come back to those sources of what's happening and what's going on, especially for friends, how they can donate. So I think that's the solution for that one.
And I do think in marketing, when you have something that's printed and it says, 1975, you're a winner, 1985, so-and-so was a winner, it's a good conversation piece. Hey, did you see it on X, Y, and Z? They're having a 50th, and we do have that date locked in, correct? May.
We don't have anything locked in because we're not sure where exactly we're doing it. Well, I'm sorry. We want the date. We don't have location locked in.
So we could do a save the date to start.
We can do a save the date to start. Yes. Not to say worst case, but worst case, we would be in IRA and we could open up the front of IRA doors and use the very front of IRA's top and bottom tier for things, as long as Crampton doesn't have anything going on, and that's what we'll have to gauge. And maybe that's another reason why things shifted to Thursday too. So let's gauge what's happening in Crampton as well.
Friday.
Yeah.
And then save the date should go out in December, right?
Yeah,
So
latest January, because students are just coming back on campus in January for classes and things. So latest will be right after the new year, things.
Send two out, an early one and a secondary one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we need to figure out, especially now that we're going to be outdoors, is what type of pop-up entertainment do we have? And should we think of? I know on the list we had Durham Civil Logan, and is it a student? Is it a faculty? Is it Frenchie's on faculty? But also so
it feels like it's easier. That's why I suggested that one group, because it's easier, and then they're right then. They know how to rehearse themselves, because then you got to think about logistics of getting everybody to rehearse, everybody to come in. What's your song? Getting the key. It's just, I think we talked about that, and that's
we did.
So
I just want to make sure we're still on the same page. But I know we talked about all of that, and we landed there. Mm-hmm.
You can always talk to Ms. Hart about using the auditorium upstairs on the 3rd floor if you need it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as like some type of overflow if we had to be indoors.
Of what, the recital hall?
Yeah, put a monitor up there.
Oh yeah, we could do the recital hall. Mm-hmm. We could do the recital hall.
The acoustics in that room are great.
We had to do overflow upstairs. Yeah, they have a whole new room reservation system you have to go through now, but it won't be an issue. We talk to Dr. Ohia and Paul Malesi and to go through the room reservation form.
But I seriously doubt if anyone is thinking this far in advance yet.
Right. Yeah, and we could always put it in and then release it versus not putting it in and trying to. So we could do that.
Howard, get it in first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm wondering if we have to bring it indoors because of weather or whatever, do we also speak? I know the gallery has gone back and forth with this many iterations of rules and whatever. 1 minute they say no food, the next minute it's a buffet table in there. But we could also think about the gallery. This is on this floor.
Love the gallery.
Mm-hmm. And
let's do the gallery and still put the food in the hall or in each.
And we've done it, and we've done that before. And we've even done it where the food has been in the dean's conference office space. Mm-hmm. We've done that. So you have the gallery. So I'm just saying these pockets of space where people can spread out and do what they need to do. And we just take over fine arts. We obviously have ETS. We have done the Weenies Award reception in there for the past couple of years. We just done the table and people could just move around and come out. We've done the step and repeat in the hall there, right across from Miss Janet's office. So, yeah.
Yeah, because you want a green room. You want someplace on wings with a restroom.
Right.
The
Right.
rain room is always on lockdown though.
It is. Yeah, the rain room is. Thank you for reminding us of that, because they start taking over. They even put up pictures and hang stuff on the walls, child. They take out all the classroom chairs and bring in furniture in preparation for commencement. So we don't really have access to it. So the rain room would be out, but we would have ETS, we would have IRA, we would have, we could request recital hall and the gallery, as well as the dean's conference room. Come in, as well as the dean's conference room, so we can go from there. I'm in a meeting still. Yeah, thank you. It's okay. Trying to thank God I'm in this meeting. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you. So I'm in a meeting. Okay, I know I don't want to go over time. We are already over time, so I do want to be mindful of that. I do think I think before we hop into budget, although Charles, you and I can start working on a preliminary budgets, I do think there's some other things we need to just go ahead and figure out in our next meeting, like theme, stuff like that, so we can start shaping up everything else. Because then that leads into marketing and just other things. And then who are we reaching out to? And based on that, we can go from there. So
I'll be honest, I like a good top hat. So something that's very Broadway, with dancers. I'm more in that mood, that sentimental mood. I mean, 50 years, you think, those people are 70 now.
Yeah.
Got to keep it sequenced and polished and shine, all things shiny.
All things
Yeah,
shiny.
and I think
I like that.
when we think about, and I'm sure whoever we bring in on as the graphic designer, they will think of some great ideas. It would be great if it's somebody from fine arts, some type of way. Who?
Sydney?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually reach out to her and say, can you give us like 3 or 4 designs for the logo?
Yeah,
when we
because
get off?
they get to thinking about stuff and present stuff, and we're like, oh, we didn't even think about that,
I think she does great work.
Yeah, that's their world. Yeah.
She's doing my website.
Yeah. So, and we'll have some wonderful things, and we'll circle back after she does this kind of idea of design for save the date. There'll be other things that we can populate, like banners that can drop in people's emails, all that good stuff that just keeps people seeing it all the next couple of months long when we, drop it in January.
And I don't use this, but I wonder if there's a way we can use TikTok to promote it.
Interesting. We probably could.
I didn't hear you.
I said, I don't use it, but I wonder if there's a way we can use TikTok to promote, because that seems to be the biggest social media platform out there now.
That would help drive a fundraiser.
Yeah, especially if we, with those images and clips, putting that together in a little stream of thoughts. Some of the individuals that we may have in the program, getting them to say something very quickly about it. Like, what you mean you're not going? Especially if you got somebody do a quick little skit, and then put it out there. Just something fun. What you mean not going? What you mean? What's it? Just whatever it is, just something really cute and fun to get people excited about it. So we can think about all those things. I think it's a great idea, Charles. It's a great idea. And it's, like a trailer, so to speak, fun things. And many different ones, whether it's people in the program, it could be one from the faculty standpoint, it could be one from the student standpoint, because people gravitate to different things and hear different things. So I think that's a great idea to add for marketing, wherever it's at.
I think I just
So in
started.
71, do you think there was a disco ball anywhere? Or am I too ahead of my time?
1971?
What happened?
You said in 1971? Probably.
Hmm.
Let me see.
Oh, she's talking about a disco ball? Probably,
Let me see.
probably.
Googling it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were using nightclubs in the 1920s.
Yeah.
I think if we did a little more research, we can find more about what was going on when it first started. I think every time I see something that's 40 years old, 30 years old, you know, they talk about how it started. And we've got to put that history moment in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say over the years, I think the thing that's really missing is who Owen Dodson was. I don't think scripts ever talk about who he was.
Let's put that in our next focus next week is how do we want to, I don't want to say introduce him, but how do we reintroduce the whole reason that it's named after him,
Right.
you know?
He went through it when
Introduce
he
the
was
whole
there.
purpose and occasion. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said he went through it when he was there. It was great, and then he had some issues. So yeah, it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Retrospective winners would be a good spot to say what it meant to them.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be nice, and I can do this, Dominique, to get the list of winners to see who's on the list and maybe contact them to present
Yes,
the award for the student for this year. So I can work on that with Miss Janet.
yes, that would be really, really nice. That would be really, really nice. Yeah. And I do want to also, I'm looking at this program order script portion of it where I say find a way to honor faculty and staff. It would be nice to figure out something, even if it's just one person doing a speech, something, it would just be nice. And where do we honor those, our fallen soldiers? Where do we honor those who have gone on?
Are there any students in the department who write poetry or who do spoken word?
Yes.
Maybe you could commission them to do some type of honoring of the faculty and staff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I immediately thought Goldie, but Goldie is on adjunct faculty now.
Yeah. Okay.
But to get her involved, we could ask her to head that up and get the student and work in tandem and then give it to us. So, we're incorporating some of the faculty because I know you wanted to do that, Dominique.
Yeah.
You could ask her.
It may be able to come out of her hip hop class.
Boom. The whole class. Boom.
So we'll have to work quickly because I think they're doing the hip hop class now. I don't think they're repeating it in the spring semester.
Okay.
And I don't know if she's on faculty in spring semester, so I can find that out.
But it's also something that even if she can't get it done this semester, maybe she can continue the relationship with the students.
Oh, absolutely.
As a subcommittee. Subcommittee, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And we can, like I said, speak on that now so that she's thinking about that in her course curriculum.
Right. And then it might have been Harriet, it might have been Denise. I don't remember who it was. When we did the reception years ago, we did in memoriam and we have a video. I don't remember who put it. You did it, Harriet?
We sent the pictures. I think Tony put it together.
I think it was Tony.
We sent him all the information. Or I thought you did it, Charles, but I gathered all the info and then I thought you did it.
Okay, let me check. I may have done it.
I think you did because we kept going back and forth and you were using a program and it was acting crazy. But we will add, all we have to do is add to that. So we already
Right, we can
have
find
that.
it. We just have to add.
That's it.
Yeah, just have to add, yeah.
Ready? That part's the easy part, the sad but easy part.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, guys, I really have to get back to work.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let's pop art. Let me just stop the record. Thank you all.
Great meeting.